Podcast, your podcast for escaping life's monotony, inspiring self-love, and discovering the constant beauty of this ever-changing world.
On this week's episode, Allie and Regan share their highs and lows for the week, some highlights from their recent trips, and they continue to play their new game. Welcome to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. We are your navigators, Allison
and Regan, and welcome to another Wildcard Wednesday. This is kind of a fun episode because 2 times in the same month, 2 months or something, Allie and I are in the same space to record an episode. So that's really exciting for us that we get to see each other, and we hope that this is another great conversation, especially since we are in the same space for once. So before we get going on to our Wildcard Wednesday conversation, just a quick another plug for our website, which you can get to at www.wanderlustingwives.com. And there you can find easy links for all of our episodes, more information about us, and an opportunity to reach out to us. And if you aren't listening to our Travel Tuesday episodes, highly recommend that you check those out. They have more to do with different travel destinations, stories that have come out of different travels, just like how travel can have an impact on all of us, no matter how big or small it is. And if you have travel stories, we encourage you to reach out to us so that you can be a guest if you're interested. And Allie, how else can people get in contact with us?
Social media is a great place to reach us. We're the most active on Instagram. So our Instagram is at Wanderlusting Wives, Facebook Wanderlusting Wives Podcast, Twitter at Wanderlust Wives, and then also we have an email address that's wanderlustingwives@gmail.com. If you're interested in being a guest on our Travel Tuesday episodes, you can always fill out the form on our website, or you can email us or DM us on social media, whatever works best for you. We'd love to hear from you. Even if you don't want to be a guest, we'd love to hear some feedback from you. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. We'd love to get a review from you. And make sure you follow us on social media.
Yeah, so we are all over the place. And as you can tell, we just love talking with all of you from our audience. It makes our days, our weeks, our months, our years, and on this podcast to get in touch with all of you and hear your stories. So continue reaching out to us when you feel led to do so. All right, so we're going to go ahead here with our first segment, our escape segment. And I don't know about you, Allie, but I am in a very stressful season of life, and I am going to be so excited to just have a random topic come up here and see where the conversation takes us. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel here, and we are going to talk about... Oh, man. Okay, so... we actually haven't had one of these come up yet. So we have topics on our wheel that have to do with all of the different senses. And today on the wheel, we got fond feelings. So anything that's like a feeling, whether that's a physical feeling, like a physical manifestation, or an emotional feeling, like the actual like feeling itself, just what are those feelings that invoke something in you that is just really positive, maybe nostalgic, anything like that. Just those sensory feelings.
Oh, this one's a good one because I feel all the feels all the time.
Same.
I'm a very emotional, empathetic person.
Same.
I think the feeling that I'm going to go with here, because it's that time of year, is the feeling of back to school. There's just something, and this is maybe strange, maybe that's why I'm a teacher, because I love back to school, but there's so many senses involved with back to school for me, whether that be the smell of new school supplies, which sounds so nerdy, but just like the feeling of you get to pick out a new outfit maybe, or getting to figure out who your new classmates are going to be, or what teacher you're going to have. It almost feels like Christmas morning in a way. You get kind of nervous but excited, and there's just like this distinct feeling that I even feel now as a teacher and not just a student. There's just this excitement but also nervousness, and it brings back a lot of good memories from childhood and back to school. So as I approach back to school, I'm starting to feel those feelings again.
Yeah. Wait, I have a question on this. How does that feeling, now that you're a teacher, how does that back to school feeling differ from when you were a student?
It's pretty similar, I would say, because there's mostly excitement, and then some nervousness, but now it's more so now I'm nervous to find where I'm going to sit or where the classroom is. Now it's nervous of I hope that I get a good class. I don't know what to expect. I know some teachers like to get the details on students from last year with how they're going to be this year, but I don't like to do that. I like to form my own opinion, so it gets a little nerve wracking to just have an empty slate and think, oh my gosh, there's these new 25 or so students that I don't even know yet. They don't know me. Hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully the parents are easy to work with. That's never something I had to worry about as a student, but definitely a little bit nerve wracking, especially since I'm still young. I always hope that the parents are going to be accepting of me since this will be my fourth year teaching, third year at my current school, but hopefully they can be respectful and appreciative, even though I am a younger teacher. I have been doing this a couple years now, so similar feelings, but in different ways.
Totally. I think that's so unique too that like I mean obviously not everyone grows up to be a teacher, so like for you to be able to have that perspective of both and like kind of be able to do that compare and contrast a little bit, that's really cool. You have very different feelings about the back to school feeling than I always did. So that's awesome. And I know it's different for everyone. I think so. I have two feelings that are coming to mind. And one of them is the feeling of growing up, my mom just like running her fingers through my hair, or like now my niece is like obsessed with just doing my hair and just like putting it up in crazy ways. Like the other day she put it up with like this giant blue bow, and then part of my hair was flipped over the bow to the other side and then braided and then flipped back over to the other side. But it's like that feeling of having somebody just like it feels safe almost, and it feels very directly like you're cared for in a way. It just like that is such a good feeling for me. And the other one that I really love is when so my favorite genre of novel is like thrillers. I don't want them to get too gory, but I just love the suspense, reading suspenseful books. And I love the feeling. Well, honestly, you know what? It's any genre, even if it's a romance, anything like that, where it's like you kind of can tell that something's about to happen, and it might be on like the opposite page of the one you're reading. So like you can see the words in your peripheral vision, but you haven't read them yet, but you're just on the edge of just being able to almost read them. And I love that feeling of anticipation when you're in that like other world. That's just such a cool feeling to me. And then you can't beat the feeling of laying in the sand on the beach in the sun, you know? Like I think those would be like some of the top 3 feelings, and they come with their own emotions, you know? Like I almost get like short of breath or like almost teary when someone plays with my hair, because it just like it's a very like intimate kind of experience. uh and then like reading a book, it's just like it's very exciting and it takes you to a different world, so you kind of forget about everything else. And on the beach it's just peace, you know, and that's just you can't take that for granted.
Those are some good ones. One that also came up for me is I'll talk more about this during my highs, but I just came back from vacation and there was a time where I hadn't seen Nate for 2 weeks. And then just that feeling of like embracing your significant other after being apart. And it's just like you almost get those butterflies and feeling of excitement like when you're first dating, that giddy and butterfly feeling. That's
Yeah.
one I've experienced lately that is like, oh yeah, it is nice
Yeah.
to feel that again because we've been together almost 7 years now. So you're past the honeymoon phase, so it's nice to uh, you know get those feelings back, and
The feeling
it's
of
exciting. It
missing
sucks to be
someone.
apart. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks to be apart, but it also feels good and rejuvenating, and yeah, it's nice.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a good one. I mean, yeah, it's hard to feel that. Like, I mean, the classic saying, "The absence makes the heart grow fonder," but, like, it's true, you forget, you take for granted having or maybe it just becomes routine, like, having each other right there, and then, like, that feeling of missing someone when you know you're gonna see them again, like, that's key. But, like, it's kind of important because then you see each other again and you have so much to talk about and you just like it's a different energy then. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the feeling of missing someone and then reuniting. That's a good one. Cool. Well, that's a I feel like we could keep talking about feelings for a long time, but I know we have a lot of other stuff to get to this episode. So we'll move right on to our Inspire segment. And we're kind of going to do two parts of this today. The first part, we're going to talk about our recent vacations to hopefully inspire you to do some traveling or some exploration. And then we will go into our highs and lows of the week as we usually do. But Allie, you want to kick us off telling us about your vacation?
And now a quick word from our sponsor. Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. The entire web becomes listenable for the first time, all in one place. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling and start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, tech, business, science, Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. It will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud. And the best part, they have podcasts. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. You can even find us there. I started using it as my default podcast app. They even have a digital radio. Download and use Newsly for free now at www.newsly.me or from the link in the description and use promo code WIVES. That's WIVES. And you can get a 1-month free premium subscription. You can find all this information in our description from this episode. And now back to our episode.
Yeah, so I just briefly mentioned it, but Nate and I and then my family all went on a vacation. So Nate was actually on a trip with his brothers for the first half of my family vacation, and I was just on the vacation with my parents and my brother. And we went to all of the Great Lakes, starting with Lake Ontario, then going to Lake Erie, Huron, Michigan, and then ending in Superior. So as we've mentioned before, Regan and I are from New York, so we're about 15 minutes from Lake Ontario where we grew up. So we started there, and then we drove up to Canada to get Lake Erie and Lake Huron, and then we made our way down to Michigan. We also went to Wisconsin and went to the Wisconsin State Fair, which I've been to the New York State Fair before, and it's huge, but the Wisconsin State Fair was massive. And I could not believe the amount of food there. It was insane. Of course, had to eat cheese curds, and they had cheese curd like tacos, and there was a buffalo chicken one and a dill pickle one, and they were phenomenal.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was very, very good. We also saw dock diving, where dogs are running and jumping off a dock. It was a competition to see who could jump the farthest. It was pretty impressive. I'm like, oh, well, better get my dogs trained here. But that was really cool. And then we did Mackinac Island in Michigan and the Upper Peninsula. And then my mom and brother had to go back to work, so they flew back to New York. And then Nate joined us. So it was me, my dad, and Nate, and we did a bunch of different baseball stadiums to see different games. So we did the Milwaukee Brewers, Detroit Tigers, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, and Cincinnati Reds. And then when Nate and I got home, since we live in Pittsburgh, we went to a Pirates game to kind of wrap up the second half of the trip, which was different stadiums. So we're trying to go to all the stadiums. I'm up to 18 now, so over halfway. So it was an exciting trip. Yeah, it was, I think, 12 days we were gone, so quite a long time, but it was really nice to get away and see so much. And I never thought I'd really care to see all the Great Lakes, but it was fun. My dad had this dream of dipping his toes in all the Great Lakes, so we actually did dip our toes in all of the Great Lakes, and it ended up being really fun. It was interesting because the Great Lakes, they started out very brown and almost dirty looking, and then Lake Superior was so clear. So I guess the further west you go, it just gets clearer. I don't know why. I don't know if there's like environmental things behind that or what, but it was really cool to see the water progressively get clear as we made our way west.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why that is. I'd be interested to know more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So how many stadiums are there, did you say?
30.
30 in total. Okay, so you're past half. That's
Yes.
wow. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I for my vacation I went with Nolan and his side of the family, his parents and his brother up to Prince Edward County in Ontario, Canada. And oh my goodness, there was a whole stress of like, will my passport come in time, etc. It did come in time, so that was fine. But yeah, it was really nice. It was just we had a beautiful house right on Lake Ontario, and Prince Edward County is pretty much almost directly across the lake from Rochester, like across from Lake Ontario, and it's where it's clearest in the entire Lake Ontario. So the swimming was really beautiful. Like the water was really clear. They had really great beaches. We didn't get to go to the beach, but we tried. It was just rainy. But yeah, our house was right on the beach. So we had like a pebble beach rather. So we spent a lot of time just like kayaking and hanging out at the beach. Found that my dog Remy loves swimming, so he has a lot of mats in his fur because he was swimming every day and he was just loving life. But yeah, it was really beautiful. Played a lot of games. Found a few good like cideries and breweries and wineries and stuff like that. The town of Picton, Ontario, is really cute. It has like a lot of really cute shops. I guess it's a really touristy area for Canadians. So it was just a really relaxing week, I guess, and just very low key. Yeah, it was a nice time to just kind of. We've never done a vacation with Nolan's side of the family, so it was a good first outing, and we'll hope to do it again someday. But yeah, it was just a really nice, relaxing week. So that was the trip. Not too much to report, but a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't always think to go to Canada, even though we're like what, like an hour-ish away.
Yeah.
So it's cool to take a vacation there. It's kind of the last thought on my mind, but yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out more.
Yeah, it was nice. It's not like somewhere I'd go to all the time, but it was cute for a trip. The traffic around Toronto, though, oh my gosh, I no, thank you. It was
It's
really bad.
always terrible.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, so let's move into our highs and lows. You wanna get started? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
All right.
Well, my high is vacation. It's always a high, but I've also am home for a couple of days. Usually, I'm just here for the weekend, but I'm here Saturday through Wednesday. So that's been really nice. I had a baby shower to go to, and then my grandma is coming up from North Carolina, so I can get to spend some time with her. I usually only get to see her at Thanksgiving, so twice in 1 year is awesome. So super excited to get to spend some extended time with family and not have to rush home. So that's definitely a high for sure. And my low is probably going to sound a little contradicting based on my feelings, but I am feeling a little bummed that summer is coming to an end and back to school is happening. While I am very, very excited for the school year to start, I'm sad that summer is ending, and I know it's only August, but I feel like the cold weather is headed our way. At least these past couple days. It's been a cooler day today. Tomorrow's supposed to be cooler. So, while I am very excited for back to school, I'm sad that summer break is ending and summer weather is probably going to be gone by the end of September. So,
Yeah, but you're gonna come visit Tampa like once a month, like for a weekend each month. So you're gonna get your summer weather all year round.
that is true. I've already been looking at flights. Don't worry.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you're welcome whenever. Very excited to move. And that's kind of like my high and low sort of. Like my low is that I'm incredibly stressed. We moved 2.5 weeks from now ish or something when we're recording this, and it's a lot. I knew a cross country move was going to be a lot, but it's like the stress is building. Our life is being packed into boxes, and there's boxes piled in my apartment, and so it's like it's pretty stressful. But it's all going to be worth it. Like I'm generally really excited still. So but with that comes like a lot of highs too. It's like I get to see a lot of people because like we're coming back around to New York at the end of December around Christmas time, but like we're making the most of this time. So seeing aunts and uncles, grandparents, friends, all parents, all of that. So we're making the most of it and we're getting to see a lot. And like I had our last sleepover with my niece and nephew. And that was super, super fun. We've been joking about them for the longest time about something that we like to call the Stinky Sock Museum. And of course, when it's kids, it's like you just kind of joke with them and they kind of believe you. But then they start to catch on of like, wait, is this actually a real place? And of course, like then we're like, oh, okay, we have to make this a real place. So we like took them to this candle place and we all made our own candles. And they were like, that was the Stinky Sock Museum, quote unquote. And they had a great time, like smelling everything. So it was just like really, really fun to spend some good time with them, and went on a wine tour with my parents this past weekend too. So it's just been really nice to use this time, as stressful as it is, to see a lot of people and have a lot of really good like present intentional time. So it's kind of a high and a low. This move is definitely bittersweet. So I guess it's fitting that my high and low is very reflective of that. But yeah, good stuff. So let's then move to, so we last time on Wildcard Wednesday, we tried out this new game where we each pick a destination and we have to pick the flight, we have to pick an activity when we get there, and then the other person has to guess what those prices are. And we have 3 guesses to get there within $100. Was that true?
Yes.
Okay. And within, you want to say within like $25 for the activity?
Yeah, I'd say within $25, and note that the flight is leaving today.
Yes, the flight is leaving this evening from Pittsburgh. So it's a last minute call trip. So, all right. I will go first and you can do the guessing. Let's see how this goes because I don't think either of us did very well last time. So, this time, you are going to London.
Okay, I'm going from Pittsburgh to London tonight. I'm gonna guess 208.
Higher.
Okay. 325.
Higher.
Oh, geez. I know that they have this new airline that's supposed to be like budget from Pittsburgh to London, so I'm surprised by this. Okay. 415.
Triple it and you've approximately got your flight for tonight. 1377.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like I said, there's this new airline called like Norse or something, NORSE. It's kind of supposed to be like Wow Air. And from Pittsburgh to London is supposed to be really, I know it's like day up, but Pittsburgh to London is supposed to be like really cheap.
Yeah, actually, because Nolan and I booked flights to London for this coming March, and we were between British Airways and Norse. Yeah, their flights were very reasonable, but apparently day of, it's not. I think this is an Aer Lingus flight for $1,377. So sorry, you don't get to go to London tonight, but let's see if you can get your ticket for an activity for some other flight when maybe you don't have to pay over $1,000 for it. Okay, so your activity, once you get to London, you would go to Leeds Castle to the Dog Collar Museum.
What? I thought you were going to say like Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, the London Eye.
No, that's all the classic stuff.
The Dog Collar.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is for one person, right? The activities are always for
one person. Let me give you some more context. So at the Leeds Castle, you get ferry ride, castle train ride, adventure golf, a castle tour, and like they have all these different museums, and the Dog Collar Museum is why you're going there, but you do have to pay admission for everything else. So it's all of those things.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to say $85.
Lower.
Oh, that's good. 62.
Oh, wait. within $25. Ah, yeah, you're good. It's $50.
Wow, I'm actually surprised. It seemed like there's a lot to offer, and they're kind of
Right?
giving you a bargain.
And I think even that price then gets you in, like, you can go to the castle all year if you want to. So,
Wow, can I live
yeah.
there? No.
That'd be nice. I want to live in the dog collar museum. I was like, wow, I did not know that existed, but you're going for $50. You got it.
Yay, too bad I can't get on the flight there, though.
Yeah, that is problematic. Yeah. All right. Well, you get the adventure, but not the flight. Let's see how I do.
That's okay. So last time I went big with Japan, and this time I'm going to keep it in the U.S., but very far away. So Anchorage, Alaska.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go $675.
Lower.
Oh. How about $500?
You get to go. $450.
Yes, I've always wanted to go to Alaska. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, $450. Okay, that's not too bad, honestly.
I know. I was very shocked, but you're gonna miss your flight though, because it's at 6:10 p.m. and it's now almost 6 o'clock, and Pittsburgh's 4 hours away. So you guessed the right price, but you're not gonna get there on time. Maybe it'll be delayed. You might get lucky.
Yeah. Wait. What airline? That'll let us know if it'll be delayed or not. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I get to go to Anchorage.
Yes, I don't remember the airline, but yeah, $450. I was shocked by that, and it wasn't like a Spirit airline. I think it was a reputable one.
Wow.
So you're going, so that's good. Your activity is going to be, you're going to kayak in the Kenai Fjords, and you're going to get to see glaciers. It's a half-day trip.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I really hope I get this. I'm gonna go $120.
Higher.
Ah, man, dang it. Okay. 180.
Much higher.
No, are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there's a liability here. I forgot about that part of it. Okay. I'm gonna go with. Man, is it more expensive than the plane flight? I'm gonna be really sad if it's more expensive than the plane flight. But I'm gonna go with $393.
You're going to be disappointed. It is more expensive than the flight at $489.
Are you kidding me? What? No, I can't. No.
I wish I was kidding. Isn't that insane?
Well, it's a good thing I'm going to miss my flight anyways. I'm not paying more than a flight for that. No way. That does sound amazing, though. You said Kenai Fjords was, like, the best.
Yeah, it was really great. We did, I think it was, like, 4 or 6 hour cruise, and they fed us and everything on there. Not like a, cruise, but just like a day cruise. And that was really cool. We got to see whales and puffins and seals, and I mean, my parents were paying, so I don't know how much it cost, but I'm sure it was not $489 per person.
Yeah, my goodness. Wow, that is quite insane. Ooh. And also, like, I was reading this the other day. Well, you see, like, the videos of the houses in Anchorage being swallowed by the melting glacier water. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm an adventurous person. I don't know how close I'd want to get, It's kind of scary.
Yeah, when we were on the boat, actual like ginormous chunk fell off the glacier, and it made a huge bang. It was crazy. Also kind of sad at the same time.
It is sad. It's like, yeah, my parents were telling me that they hiked to a glacier when they were in Alaska, and they hiked to a point where then you could see the glacier way in the distance. But when my grandparents went there about 25 years ago, the glacier was where my parents were standing this year.
Wow.
And it's just, yeah, it's really sad to see what's happening to our Earth. And so we got to do something.
Yeah, you better go catch that flight before Alaska melts away.
Yeah, so I'll hug a glacier. Well, don't. Your body heat will melt it, but you know what I mean. Awesome. Well, this has been a great Wildcard Wednesday. Ellie, anything before we wrap up?
Yeah, just make sure you are giving us a 5-star review. We'd love to hear from you. Believe it or not, we're only a couple months left in this season, so we're going to be starting to plan for season 3 already, which is crazy. So we would love to hear your feedback on if you're really enjoying Travel Tuesdays and Wildcard Wednesdays, and what are some things you want to see, what are some locations you want us to find guests for. We'd love to hear all of that feedback, and give us a review and follow us on social media, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. Come escape with us again every other Tuesday for Travel Tuesdays and every other Wednesday for Wildcard Wednesdays.
Don't forget to give us a subscribe and a follow on all of our social media and wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until next time, wander on!